This is the second part of Chapter 7 Study Guide. It asks you to name the major arc. A major arc is going to be more than 180 degrees. You use 3 letters to name a major arc. One way you could name the major arc in this problem is arc ADB. It also asks you to find its measure. We know that a circle has 360 degrees. The arc that we're talking about goes, we're on 17. Did I not do 16 either? I'll go back and get it. This arc goes all the way around here. We would call that 310 degrees because we know that it's the whatever's left over from 360. Here's number 16 if you didn't write it down yesterday. There's that problem. We looked at each sector. Sleeping was 33%. We multiplied 0.33 times 360 because that's how many degrees are in an entire circle. We found that that angle was 118.8 degrees. And we found 8% was 28.8 degrees.
Oh wait, I didn't get it all.
Okay, here you go.
Sorry.
Okay, we're on number 18. Find the circumference. Leave your answer in terms of pi. The formula for circumference is pi times diameter, or 2 pi r. In this problem, they give me the diameter. It is 8.1. So we multiply that by pi, and it's in centimeters. It's not centimeters squared, it's centimeters, because the circumference is the distance around. If you were going to build a fence, you would need to know the circumference. Number 19 asks you to find the area to the nearest tenth. Well, what you need to do is you need to imagine that it is part of a circle. Find the area of that circle and then find out what part you need. So if you're finding the area, it's pi r squared. This problem has a radius of 4, so that is 16 pi. We'll multiply here in a second. That's the area of the whole circle. You don't need the whole circle. You need 120 of the 360 degrees. That's the fraction of the circle you need, times 16 pi. So it's 120 times 16 times pi divided by 360, and that is 16.8 when you round to the nearest tenth, and this is in inches squared. 20. Find the exact area of the shaded region. You need to find the area of this sector, and that's supposed to be a curved part right there, and subtract the area of the triangle. That's how you do this problem. First, you have to find the area of the whole circle, which is pi times 24 squared. That's the area of the whole circle. We need 120 out of 360. That's the area of the whole section. We move over here and we have to find the area of the triangle. So what we need to do is we need to find the base is here. We need to find the height. How do we do that? What if you cut it in half? What kind of triangle would you create if you cut it in half? It's a 30, 60, 90. And what part would be 24? Hypotenuse. And that would create a height of what length? 12. So that tells me that the height is 12. So 1/2 of 24 times 12. Okay? Now I need to just take my time in doing my calculations. Pi times 24 squared times 120 divided by 360. Okay, this is my number here. 603. What did I do wrong? Oh, it's not the base. No, it's not. Thank you. What is the base? I think it's 12 square roots of 3, don't y'all? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
12 square roots of 3. Okay.
Wait a minute, can you take that off again?
Just a second. Minus, okay, one half times 12 square roots of 3. Nope, not divided by. Delete that. Times 12. 124.7. Subtract those. Now the question asked me for exact. So this is not exact. This is 478.5. But that's not exact. To be exact, I would need to include that radical in there. So I'm going to go back and do it exact. 24 squared is what? What's 24 squared? 576. What's 120 over 360? Can I reduce that fraction? 1/3. So I've got 576 pi over 3. Will 576 divide by 3? Yes, it will. That's really 192 pi. Minus, now I'm going to work on this side. What's half of 12? 6. So this really says 6 square roots of 3 times 12. What's 6 times 12? Hmm? 72. My book has 144.
You're supposed to double the.
Oh, I got to double the area. I got to double the area of the triangle, don't I? Okay. Minus. Okay, so that is 72 square roots of 3. That's this area, isn't it? How many of those do I have? 2 of them. Okay. That's why I have to do that. That would mess up that.
Oh, dang.
I did not.
21 says, find the probability that a point chosen at random on AK is on the segment from C to J. How long is A to K?
10?
It's 10. K is actually located at 10. That is 10.
And A is located at 0.
C to J.
And 0 counts as a number, so that makes a total of 11 numbers. Right?
That's right. But we're counting the spaces between the numbers instead of the numbers.
I know. We're counting the spaces, not the numbers themselves.
That's exactly right. So I get 7 out of 10 on 21. So we have one that's real difficult, and then we have one that's not difficult at all. We good?
Wait, can you bring it back, please? Get that. Okay. Oh, wait. I didn't write it down. I have to.
Here we go. Number 22. The radius of the bullseye of the dartboard is 8. That's 8. The radius of each concentric circle is 8 inches more than the radius of the circle inside of it. So the next radius is 16, and the next radius is 24, and the next radius is 32. Is that how you interpreted that when you read that?
That was another language.
If a dart lands at random on the dartboard, what is the probability that it will hit area C? So I need to find the area of C over the total area. That's how I work that problem.
Okay.
These are circles, and the area of a circle is pi r squared. What's the radius for C? It's 8. What's the radius for the whole thing?
8 squared times pi.
Pi r squared. The radius is r. The radius is 8. So it's 8 squared times pi, or pi times 8 squared. You can write it either way. For the whole circle, the radius is 32 times 5.
Okay.
When it says, so is it meaning that it will only land in C or land in A through C? Or just C?
It says, what is the probability the dart will hit in area C?
Area C. I guess that could be interpreted differently. So just C then?
Oh, in area C. Oh, what is area C?
That's subtracted by.
Got to do that, don't we? Okay. So, area C is not 8 squared. What's area C? It actually is 24 squared minus the 16 squared, right? Is that okay? Not going to be 8 squared because we're going to square before we subtract instead of subtract before we square. Thank you for asking that question and keeping me straight, Brayden. So here we go. 24 squared is 576. So I get 576 pi minus 16 squared, 256 pi.
Oh, I'm right.
What's 32 squared? 1024. Okay. Subtract. Do you get 320 pi over 1024 pi? I don't think that's what I had. It's not.
May I go sharpen my pencil, please?
Yes, go sharpen your pencil. Okay, I'm going to cancel out the pi's and I'm going to simplify 320 over 1024. Just going to put it in my calculator. 320 divided by 1024.
13125.
And if I write it as a fraction, it's 5/16. Okay?
So the probability is 5/16.
If you throw the dart 16 times, 5 of those should be in C. 23. Find the probability that a point chosen at random will lie in the shaded area. So what do we need to do here? Area of the shaded.
Can't you take the area of the sector minus the area of the shaded?
Area of the circle. So first of all, what's the area of the circle?
14 squared times 5.
42 half.
Pi times radius squared. And the radius is 7, right? 49 pi. The shaded area. Okay, here's the deal.
What? 49?
It's 7. You got to use the radius instead of the diameter. The diameter is 14. Okay. Questions. Do you believe this is 7?
Oh. I thought that meant that line through the triangle is 14.
Do you believe this is 7? Is the radius of this circle 7? So is this segment 7? So how are you going to find the area of that triangle? 1/2 of the base times the height. So what do we get in the numerator? $49. What do we have in the denominator? 49 pi. So the 49s are going to cancel and you're going to get 1 over pi. Put that in your calculator. 1 divided by pi. My book has it rounded to the nearest hundredth. 0.32. If you told me 1 over pi, or if you told me 0.32, or if you told me 32%, I'd take any of those answers. Any questions so far?
Wait a second.
Next question is goes back to an algebra question. what's the solution to the system? That means the point that makes them both true at the very same time. What's the easiest way to find that? Go to y equals, or set them equal to each other. If you go to y equals, it's negative 4x plus 4, and the other one is negative x minus 2. And then what's the best thing to look at?
Table?
The table. And what are we looking for?
I have no idea.
A place where y1 and y2 are the same. Where does that happen at?
X2. X is 2.
Really?
When x is 2, y is negative 4.
That's how you can find the x and the y's?
Yes.
Why couldn't I figure that out on my calculator?
25 says find the value of b that makes the system have this solution. Well, they're telling you the x and the y. You need to take that equation that has the b in it and plug it in. For y, you need to put 5 equals b times x, which is 3, plus 2. And then you just solve for b. It's real easy. Subtract the 2. It says 3 equals 3b. Divide. B is 1. Okay, 26, 27, 28 says graph each system. You don't have to graph it. You can graph it if you want to, but you don't have to. Can you tell by looking if 26 is going to be no solution, one solution, or infinitely many? What does it mean for no solution? Parallel. One solution means they cross. Infinitely many means they're the same line. What's the situation with 26? Why is it no solution? Because they are parallel. How do you know they're parallel just by looking? Same slope. There's one more thing you have to look for, though. Different y-intercept. So you said these were no solution. Okay. Can you tell by looking at number 27, or is there a little work needing to be done? Add 3 to both sides. So the second equation says y equals negative 5x plus 3. Infinitely many. I'll just abbreviate. I'm running out of room. Because they are the same line, which means they have the same slope and the same y-intercept. What about the next one? One solution. And if I asked you to find it, we could put it in our calculator.
Can I take a picture of that?
In a minute, you can. 29. I'm recording, Colin, so it's going to be on YouTube. You can go back and watch it, okay?
Right.
Use substitution to solve the system. What do you think about this one?
On my phone. I'll subscribe to your channel.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know that I have a channel as well.
Okay, I'm going to subscribe to you as soon as I get time.
By the way, it's called Stupid Face.
Let me write that down.
That's my YouTube channel's name.
Okay. Here we go. E is equal to F plus D plus 4. Okay. The bottom equation only has F and E. So you need to get the top two so that they only have F and E, or either you need to eliminate something else. What's your strategy here? What, Jonathan?
Plug in that F equals 2e minus 11 into the equation.
Which equation?
To the top.
To the top one. Okay. So it's going to say D plus E minus 2e minus 11 equals 12. That's what you told me to do, right? Okay. So let's work on this. D plus E minus 2e plus 11 equals 12. What's it going to be? D minus E equals 1. Okay? I need another equation that only has D and E in it to go with this.
Plug F equals 2e minus 11 to the next one.
Okay. So I'm going to do that right in this area so that I can have a little more room here. So you're saying put this right there. So it says E equals 2E minus 11 plus D plus 4. Right? Okay, let's work on this one. First thing I'm going to do is combine those. E equals 2E plus D minus 7. Then what do you think we should do next?
Combine the two E's.
Okay. So I'm going to subtract 2E from each side. It's going to give me negative E. I'm going to subtract D. It's going to give me minus D is negative 7.
Why would you subtract the D?
I'm trying to get E and D on one side and the 7 on the other. Now I can do elimination. So I can take this and I can combine it with this. Is it going to bother y'all if I write it this way? If I just switch those two? As long as I maintain their signs, I'm good. What eliminates? D eliminates. So I get negative 2E equals negative 6. And what is E? 3. E is 3. Does everybody see how we got that?
And what's F?
We're fixing to figure that out. Y'all ready?
D equals. What does E equal?
E is 3. So go back over here.
I said D.
We're not there yet. We're figuring it out.
Sorry.
E is 3. So what can I figure out immediately?
The bottom equation.
Okay. And what will that be?
-5.
Okay. And then can I figure out the top equation?
You can plug 3 back into that negative D, whatever it was.
You want me to take this 3 and use it here? Here? Okay, I can. I'm gonna go straight here though and use. I'm just gonna show you how to use this one. D plus 3 minus negative 5 is equal to 12. What? D plus 8 is 12. What does D have to be?
Equals 4.
D equals 4.
So what are we trying to find here?
D, E, and F. 30, you decide to market your own custom computer software. You must invest this much money for computer hardware and spend $290 to buy and package each disk. If the program sells for $13.75, how many copies must you sell to break even? So your income and your expenses have to be equal for you to break even. What do you spend creating this company?
3,200.
Plus $290 per package, right?
Or you can sell the computer that you made from scratch on the black market. Or eBay.
There you go.
What do you
Okay.
mean Bitcoin?
All right, here we go.
Why
We
not?
are taking money in by selling it. Okay. Subtract 290p from each side. What's that give you? $10.05? No, $10.85. Divide. And P is 300. Questions on that one? Okay, the next one is another problem that you need to do on the calculator. Go to y equals, and we need a calculator that has any quals out on it. Mine does not. Does somebody have one at their desk that has any quals on it?
I got any quals.
Would you bring it up here? Okay. So we're going to turn any quals on. Continue. We're going to go to y equals. We're going to put these right in our calculator from any quals. We're going to sit on top of the equal sign and choose the correct symbol by pressing alpha and that symbol. Negative x minus 1. The next one. 2x plus 4, and we graph it. It's going to graph and shade. It's going to give us solid lines because we have greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. The solution to the system is this area that's double shaded. So when you're choosing your answers on a multiple choice test, that part and that part are not part of the solution. It's the part that's double shaded. Everybody get that?
That thing there, without the cross in the middle of it, kind of makes it look like some sort of company logo or symbol.
Kind of does, doesn't it? 32, thank you, Braden. 32 says a 16-foot ladder is placed against the side of a building. The bottom of the ladder is 8 feet from the base. In order to increase the reach of the ladder, it's moved 4 feet closer. So this goes down by 4. To the nearest foot, how much further up the building does the ladder now reach? You have two right triangles. You just have to solve them and compare. So we have 16 squared minus 8 squared equals b squared. And here we're going to have 16 squared minus 4 squared equals b squared. We're just going to see how the b's changed. The first one is square root of 192 to the nearest foot. So yeah, they do. This is 13.86. The second one's going to be 16 squared minus 4 squared. Square root of that is 15 point, it's going to be 49. So when you subtract the 13.85 from the 15.49, we get 1.63. So to the nearest foot, how much does it change?
2.